going to try. It's like over 500 comments on that video. I am going to try to reply back to most. If I can't reply back to all, I'm going to heart every single one of them. Between these next couple days, I'm going to heart every single comment. Before I said anything, I just wanted to say thank you. Now, today is Wednesday. I don't know if I said that, but I was going to put this in a vlog, and I said no. I did not want to make y'all wait. I didn't want to leave y'all on the cliffhanger like that. I got to get this video out today. So the last scene that y'all saw was I was at the surgery center, and I was getting ready to have the surgery. I had the surgery. Everything went well. If y'all remember, my surgery was it was supposed to be at 2. We all know things fall behind. It's a surgery center. So when I looked at when they put me to sleep, I remember looking at the clock. Y'all know they always got a clock in there. It was like 3:25. So I probably came out like 4. And when I came out, the nurse, she called Boo. They were outside, and she told me that everything looked okay. And that the doctor would call me. The doctor was gone. I think I was the last one. So of course she was gone. She said she would call me. So everything looked okay. I didn't know what the extent of everything looked okay. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know if that meant they removed it again and removed everything. I didn't know. But I told them I didn't really share this with anybody, y'all. I told my parents, of course. I didn't even tell Niecy, Anthony Terrell. She found out yesterday with y'all. A lot of my close friends I didn't tell. I think I ended up telling Cece like the day of or the day before. And she did text me before I went into surgery and after. But I didn't really share it. I don't know. I just don't like people worried about me. My parents is already worried. So I told my husband, like, just go ahead and tell them everything is fine. Even though I didn't really know what everything looked okay, but I just go ahead and alleviate them some of that stress. Because they already lost a child. So yesterday evening, the doctor called me herself. And oh man, I'm trying to hold back my tears. So I want y'all to know that I have had several colonoscopies. Several, right? There was never a time that I had a colonoscopy that there were no polyps. Never. Every single colonoscopy I've had, there have been polyps. I told y'all that, if you're new, if you didn't watch the last video, I had high-grade dysplasia. High-grade dysplasia typically, when people have high-grade dysplasia polyps, it's not a matter of if they'll get cancer, it's a matter of when, if not treated, right? You need your preventative screenings. Y'all, when I tell y'all,
I don't have the right mannequin head
God ain't real. I did not have not one
my wig.
polyp. Not one. The dysplasia.
I'm kind of sad about that a little bit because kind of make it harder to keep the hair on.
It's been 3 years. I got chills right now. It's been 3 years, and I didn't have not one polyp. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't.
How y'all doing? Thank y'all for tuning in. How are y'all? All I'm doing is just sitting here watching the little YouTube vlog
to be
and
free and clear on this report,
curling my wig because I think I'm gonna put it on.
I'm lost for words.
I'm not sure yet.
It ain't my time. God, I got more work to do. I got more work to do. I got more people to help. I feel like I'm truly here for a reason. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect by any means. I am not without sin. I sin, but I try to be a good person and I try to help people. And God said, and a lot of y'all said, because I deal with anxiety and depression.
I ordered this wig off of Amazon, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, this I like this wig.
Y'all probably didn't know the backstory. Y'all probably didn't know why I was always drinking soursop tea. I drink soursop tea every day. So, and that's another thing. Prior to this procedure, I wasn't drinking. Prior to the other colonoscopies, I hadn't drunk soursop tea. I have implemented that in my life now in the last year or so, right? And I'm going to continue. I don't know what. I mean, we know it was God, but also other changes that I made that I don't talk about on camera, right? But soursop tea, y'all, get it. I'm gonna link it in this video. I drink it every day. Even if you have cancer, soursop tea. I'm actually trying to put an actual soursop tree in my yard. I want to find a real, because I know they say like what we get is good, but it's not as best. It's not as good as the real thing, right? So I want to get a tree and plant it in my backyard. But nevertheless, a lot of y'all was telling me that my sister's story is not my story, and y'all are absolutely correct. That's not my story. My book is written completely different. And just because my sister did die from cancer don't mean that I'm gonna die from cancer. And
I'm burning
there's some
up,
things
y'all.
that I learned from this experience. Number one being that I always knew this God has the final say so, and it's not my time. And I know a lot of y'all was saying that I definitely, I'm not gonna lie, I looked at,
I was letting my phone charge earlier, and I didn't want to keep wasting time.
Y'all know I went to school for histology.
So
and I actually used to do autopsies and things, and I've seen
this is the same wig that I resized and made it fit my head, y'all. And it was still too big. So what I did was,
I was so happy to see so many. Well, I wasn't happy to see that y'all had it, but so many people reached out to me and let me know, hey,
what I did was,
my sis Shonda, I never knew. I'm talking about pretty, vibrant. I was like, sis,
what I did was put my elastic band I got. I sewed it in the inside because it was still big. So I think it's gonna be cool now.
Very uplifting and encouraging for y'all to share that with me. That
and I didn't want to cut it no more and
that was one thing that I
mess
learned.
with it more
Secondly,
and do all
is
that more. So
what I do want y'all to understand, let me back up a little bit, is that just because this colonoscopy I did not have any polyps, that does not mean I'm free and clear for the rest of my life, right? Because I do, she did, reiterate to me, because I did have high grade dysplasia. This is something that I have to monitor for the rest of my life. Because 9 times out of 10 will come back, right? It will. So it's not like, okay, you done. Unfortunately, that's
let's see what's going on the Diddy trial. That's what's going on.
And at this point, we think Tyrone might have been asking for $200 million. We don't know. So she fired Tyrone Blackburn. Now, everybody gagged. Because I'm thinking, oh my God. Tyrone was in the court. Tyrone was at the courthouse, so I would have loved for Tyrone to be there. Me and Tyrone, he got on my nerves the first day. But, Tyrone's actually key. But the thing is this. If I would have been there, because he used to sit behind me and sometimes we sit on the same row, I'd have looked at him and saw him his name get dropped. I wish he was there today, because I'd have looked at him like, girl, so you was out here really carrying like that with this lady and just making stuff up and just asking for exuberant amounts of cash. This is why people don't be respecting Tyrone Blackburn, because he always gets tied into the wrong part of the lawsuit. Tyrone Blackburn is a hoot. Actually, one of the days he got kicked out of the court. Because the thing is, if I don't want my lawyer over there being messy. Tyrone be in the damn courtroom doing this, taking notes, and we, and they tell you, sir, can you please be quiet? You cannot talk in the courtroom. Every time, so they go, You supposed to be taking notes. Every time we do, At one point, I think the man just told him, he said, sir, you just won't be quiet. And we're going to have to ask you to leave the courtroom. I don't need my lawyer being put out the courtroom.
You said in the stream, and I'm telling you, you can leave the stream. Thanks for the comment, though. I appreciate it.
Like, I don't need my lawyer giving that. You're too sassy and too messy. You know what I mean? Then you need to make sure these documents is right, Tyrone. Girl. So I can't wait to see what he says to that, because she said she had to get rid of Tyrone Blackburn because he filed a demand letter with an exuberant amount of cash and everything in the letter was written incorrectly. Wow, 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 wow. And so she hired a lawyer. No, I just threw out the 200 million. They didn't have it. I was just being facetious with the 200 million. I was dragging that a little bit. There's no tea. I was dragging that part. We don't know what the amount was, but we know it was a lot, and it was too much for her to even want, so she had to let him go. Okay. And so. And so we got into Rob. Rob, I guess he's the producer, something like that. One of her really good friends. Rob FaceTime Bonna. Bonna's the woman.
Y'all seen that?
This is one of Cassie's friends, aka Cassie's friend. Get high friend. So Rob FaceTimes Bonna from Diddy's backyard. Rob Holiday said that he was calling on behalf of Diddy to settle payment. They were trying to get the offer of how much Diddy was trying to settle for. However, Westmoreland kept objecting to that question. So we never got the settlement amount, but we did. They asked her, what did you feel about when Rob called you and asked you about a settlement for Diddy? Bonna said that she declined what was offered. They asked her if she ever spoke to Rob again. She said no. So I guess Rob is still cool with Diddy. I don't know. They said, did your new attorney help you file a lawsuit? Yes. Why did you file your lawsuit? She said, I want to seek justice for what happened to me. They said, how much are you guys suing for? She said, we are looking for damages in the amount
Yo, look at my fan.
$10 million.
It's my birthday, and it's not even my birthday, honey. I'm burning up, okay?
Sheesh. You know, when the numbers start getting out, everybody, especially the black people, gosh, everybody tense up. You know, black people, they, I don't know why we do that.
I don't know why I just started getting hot.
We just start hearing numbers, and you just, everybody, It's like, girl, what does that mean? Like, girl, everybody, you know what I mean? It's just it'd be a lot. And I want to, I am one of them too, okay? Let me just think like, you know what I'm saying? It just, I don't know, it's just something that we do. And so, she said she's looking for $10 million. But and listen, you grab me up by my, and then talk me up, and then, and you sneak up behind me and grab me by my yitties and throw me over the balcony and then toss me in a club. I need $10 million too. If I'm kicking the door open before I walk in the house every day, you need to pay me. If I'm having a panic attack by just getting into my house, I gotta Bruce Lee that motherfucker and then yell, That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. And some of that's probably them withdrawals from the drugs. So that ain't all Diddy. Okay? Some of that is the ketamine and the cocaine withdrawal and the G withdrawal. That ain't all Diddy. Some of that is a little, that's a lot on your mental. Okay?
Y'all seen that? This gonna piss me the hell off. I'm gonna tell you that right now. This gonna piss me off. Right now, that's gonna piss me off.
Now, I ain't mad at her though for wanting the $10 million. I'm not gonna
piss me off.
I'm not mad at her for wanting the $10 million. Okay, so boom, now we get to Nicole Westmoreland. Now we're at the crossover. So now she's done. And now we're about to get into this cross-examination and everything that is given. Okay? This is when the tea get out. And this is where, let me tell you something. This is where Nicole Westmoreland and Brian Steele are some of the best defense attorneys in the game. And their cross-examination game is a nasty, nasty, nasty one. Because Nicole, she knew how to angle this in a way where you'd be like, let's just get into it. So, Nicole goes, you have immunity, right? What does immunity mean to you? You testified that immunity means if you talk, you're protected. And if you lie, you lose it. Right? She said, true. Who gets to determine if you lie? She said, the prosecution. Okay, now let's move on. Right there, she came in. What that told me was, to the jury, she's still lying. She's saying what sounds good for the prosecution, but understand, we don't have a right to say if we think she's lying or not. If the prosecution determines she's lying, aka not saying what they want her to say, we're gonna evoke this whole immunity. So there's no real way to know that she's lying because it's at the discretion of the prosecution, who in fact put her up as a witness. So that's how she started it out. She said, now, let's be clear. So you started off making about $75,000 for working with Cassie in her creative direction job, right? You said you met at Cassie, in her Studio City apartment. She was like, it was a house. You guys did a photo shoot in just a t-shirt. And that's the moment that you knew that Cassie was comfortable. You and Cassie were comfortable with each other, correct? She said, true. She said, and that's when you guys would spend a lot of time together with Cassie. You'd be at her house all the time, spending the night, laying in the bed, sleeping on the balcony, sleeping on the couch every day. She said, yes, we just spend a lot of time. I mean, we're friends. You and Cassie you and Cassie would go shopping, get your hair done, nails done, you party, go to party. We didn't go to parties. She said, well, isn't it true that you said to the government that you guys went
I look hit right now, y'all. I'm about to take this out my hair, too.
But, it's the way you're saying it, I party.
I don't even think I put that up.
Whatever makes you feel comfortable asking the question. You partied. True. Well, yes,
I don't even think I posted my hairband like this yet.
Drugs. Cassie, you did a lot of drugs together, correct? Cassie asked you actually the first night, right? Do you get high? Yes. And then from that day forward, you and Cassie just started getting high. All the time. You just start getting high all the time, right? True. Well, yes. They said, I know you mentioned, a few other drugs and stuff like that. But I want to go into a few more. Weed? She said, yes. What does that make you do? Well, I'm excited, kind of hungry. Okay. Edibles? Yeah, not too much, but I did, the edibles. We do those edibles. Cocaine? I remember you said the cocaine makes you feel confident. Ketamine. What does that do? Tell us in the jury what that does. She said, it opens your mind. She said, you've been in a ketamine hole, a K-hole? She said, yeah. I don't know what a K-hole is, It sounds freaky. Do you want to come like I don't know. Ecstasy. She said I feel loose and uplifting. Molly. Well, I know. No, you remember you said that you didn't. You guys would always do Molly all the time. She said, "Well, no, we do it. I just asked you, would you and Cassie do Molly together?" Yes. G. She said, "Please tell us, me and everybody, what does that do?" They said, "G makes you feel like you're on alcohol." She says, "Isn't it true that you said that G makes you feel like you're on alcohol and horny?" She said, "True." "Isn't it true that you and Cassie did acid together?" "Yes." "Percocets?" "Oh, I didn't like those because those made me throw up again." "Vicodin?" "Vicodin?" They said a pain medication. "I just asked you, did you and Cassie do Vicodin?" "I did Vicodin, but I don't know if she did." "I'm just asking." "Vicodin?" "Yes." "A Cocoa Puff?" And everything wrong with it. Everybody looking around like, what the hell is it? She said, "Yeah." She said, "Please, tell everybody in here, what is a Cocoa Puff?" So, a Cocoa Puff is you roll a blunt and you poke holes in it and you dibble and dabble and drop sprinkles of cocaine in the holes. And that's the Cocoa Puff. And she said, "Well, what does that do?" She said, "It's like a mixture of everything that the weed gives you, but then it also gives you the excitement of the cocaine." So, the Cocoa Puff is the cocoa with the puff. You know what I'm saying? So you do it, and it's a lot of going on. You know what I'm saying? So you chill it and you chill it. That's what it's there. You know what I mean? And you just end up on a. That's how they go. Excuse me. And they said, well, it just developed into a serious drug problem. And she said, absolutely. We just. So she said, so it was right. So y'all were doing drugs before you met Diddy, right? So right now, what I think she's doing is trying to say, Cassie you were the one that got Cassie on drugs, and Cassie was also a druggie. And secretly, we might try to make it seem like you was trying to like on Cassie, and y'all were two junkies together. Don't blame this on Diddy. They said you sold Cassie drugs on a weekly basis, correct? She said, true. Have you ever seen Cassie do pills? Yes. Isn't it true that you bought Cassie 100 pills? True. Why did you do that? And isn't it true that you were nervous? I was. Why did you give it to her? They were hers. Cassie was so high, she had 100 pills. Xanax, Vicodin, Percocets. They said did drugs. She did a lot of drugs with Cassie. They said, isn't it true that you would also send Cassie to different drug dealers? She said, yes. She was acting like, I don't remember. No, she was acting like she didn't remember. Now she's starting like she didn't remember. She said, isn't it true that you sent Cassie to a drug dealer? I don't remember. What's the name? Ray J? And everyone, ooh. So you sent Cassie to get drugs from Ray J?
Right, what?
You know that name? Oh, I don't remember. I don't know. Who is Ray J? Didn't you tell the government you sent Cassie to the drug dealer? Ray J?
What?
Ooh. Ray J.
Ray J, yo?
Oh, I'm not sure. Who is Ray J? Oh, it sounds like that singer guy, but I don't know. I don't remember. She said, oh, okay. She said, but singer, but I don't know. I don't know. No, she said, but I don't know if that's him. It sounds like that singer guy, but I don't know if that's him. So apparently, Ray J and Cassie, or Ray J, according to these documents, whoever Ray J is, we don't know, because she said it could be that singer guy. She don't know a Ray J, but that whoever Ray J was delivering the drugs to Cassie. That was one of Cassie's drug dealers. It's what was said in the courtroom today. I don't know how many Ray J's is in the world. I only know one. So I don't know if she sent to Ray J to they said, who else did you send to deliver drugs to Cassie? And she acted like she know, and they said, who was Ray J? So apparently, Ray J delivered some drugs to Cassie at one point. Okay? She said, I don't remember. They said, you know that t-shirt line you had with Cassie? It didn't work out, right? Now watch this. It didn't work out. Remember that? She said, well, you know, it worked. It was okay. No, it didn't work out. It didn't really do well, right? Remember she was like, I don't remember. Didn't you say it was because of Beyonce?
Whoa.
And Rihanna?
Whoa.
And what's about Nicki? I was like, ooh, is it Nicki Minaj? But no, it was Nicki Skate Company. Apparently, the company that they were working for wasn't really focusing on women's clothing that much, so it just really wasn't selling as much. So it's not Nicki Minaj. It was like a Nicki Skate Company, but basically she was saying Rihanna and Beyonce was too much competition, so Cassie stuff wasn't selling in comparison to Rihanna and Beyonce. And I don't know if Cassie thought she was that girl. There's a lot of Cassie was thinking that she was battling Beyonce back then. I don't know. Cassie really thought she was with Diddy, so she was Beyonce. It was Beyonce, Jay-Z, Diddy, Cassie. I don't know what. This is the second time Beyonce done been mentioned. Cassie had a little battle going on with Beyonce. And so she said Beyonce and Rihanna were the reasons why the line didn't take off. Okay? She said it wasn't Diddy who pretty much stopped you from, it wasn't Diddy who held you back from, it was your huge competitors. Diddy didn't stop you or stop Cassie. It was the huge competitors. Diamond Supply Company, you and Cassie, for whatever reason, you guys didn't work out, right? You couldn't do your job because you were getting high every day. Right? You couldn't do your job. You were getting high. she was basically saying, like, y'all were two junkies. How could you work? You're getting high every day. You and Cassie had your own relationship, right? She said, yes, we were close. You still friends with Cassie? Yeah? You still friends with Deontay Nash? Yes. When's the last time you talked to Deontay Nash? After he got off the stand? Ooh. Everybody, ooh. What'd you guys talk about? Nothing. When's the last time you talked to him? Well, today. He texted me. Oh, what did he text you about? Oh, he just asked me for my girl's number. And you didn't mention nothing about the case or nothing about the stand or nothing? No? Okay. Have you spoken to Cassie since the trial started? I don't remember. What do you mean? Have you spoken to Cassie since the trial started? Okay, let me make it clear for you. Have you spoken to Cassie since we've been on trial? Yes. All I said was I asked her how she was doing and sent her a bathtub that she might like. Okay. So you don't mean to tell me you never talked to Cassie about the case? Well, Cassie texted me today. What did she say? I didn't respond. So she just texted you just never talked to her about nothing? No. Okay. So you hired Tyrone Blackburn, then fired him, and the other lawyer was going to sue Diddy with you, right? Yes. Like Cassie did.
I almost burnt my toes off.
Yes. So why didn't you tell? You met with the jury, you met with the government, but yet you didn't tell them that Diddy threatened you. And said he would kill you, right? Until you met with Tyrone Blackburn, until you filed your lawsuit in January 2024. She said, well, I thought it was a meet and greet. So I didn't want to tell them everything. So I didn't tell them all the information. I thought it was a meet and greet. Everybody laughed like a meet and greet. You thought you was doing a meet and greet with the government? It said November 2023, Cassie filed her lawsuit. And then did you tell Cassie about your lawsuit? No, she didn't tell anybody. She said, did you talk to Cassie about her lawsuit? This one is going to get interesting. She said, yeah, Cassie asked permission to put my name in her lawsuit, but I said no. But I did say, she said this happened in the hotel, and you said no, it happened in your apartment. So you and Cassie discussed what happened.
Oh, man.
So this is when it got interesting. So now we take a turn. So Nicole Westmoreland is the defense. So what she's doing now, because I still don't know, but this is why I'm saying this is a really good lawyer. Because now, Bonham was like trying to talk, but when you're on the stand, you're only supposed to say yes or no. Did I ask you a question? Yes or no? You can't really control how the defense angles the question. So her line of questioning makes it come across as if her and Cassie planned this whole thing. So boom, she gets into, you and Cassie discussed this lawsuit, right? And you guys discussed the balcony incident. And you guys were going to make a plan, and you suggested, you guys were discussing where this happened, apartment versus hotel, right? True? She said yes. You and Cassie were discussing, dates. You guys were trying to negotiate dates and figure out which dates, suggesting which dates were the right dates. True. You guys also discussed who you guys suggested. You guys also discussed who suggested that was there, correct? Like Tiffany Red. So you guys were like trying to figure out and suggesting who was there. Basically saying that they were coming up with this balcony lie because now Cassie had a lawsuit, and so Cassie was telling her friend, girl, now we're going to say that he hung you over the balcony, and so let's come up with a theme and say, okay, boom, we're going to say this at their apartment or hotel. Which one are we going to go with? Okay, we're going to go with the apartment. Okay, then we're going to decide, okay, what are the dates? We got to be on the same page about the dates because this is what we locked in on. All right, boom. All right, so then so who are we saying? Tiffany was there? She's not there. Okay, boom. You told Cassie she was there, and she didn't recall that. You and Cassie had these conversations between 2023 and 2024, right? You guys were talking about this. Yes. You spoke to Cassie before she filed, right? Yes. You and Cassie spoke about the balcony and discussed dates, location, who was there, and who wasn't. And then you went and hired a civil attorney once you had your story right. Is that true? Yes. But she was like, it's the way that you're saying. She was like, it's the way that you're asking it. But okay, so I get it. She was like, I guess it's the way that you're asking, whatever. But she was basically saying like, girl, you're asking me in a way to suggest that I was making this up, but whatever, yes. And then at some point, she just started acting like she didn't remember nothing. Because I feel like she was getting flustered and she didn't want to like throw herself more deeper down the rabbit hole. So she kept acting like she didn't remember. She didn't remember.
You know, some of these.
They said, and so at that party back on the 29th birthday, you testified that you saw Cassie and Diddy fighting, but you never saw them actually getting physical with each other, did you? No. I did not see them fighting. Isn't it true that you told the government that Cassie and Diddy would get into knife fights all the time? I don't remember. Where did Diddy... So you mean to tell me you don't remember, but Diddy would just bang on the door, you don't know how, he'd just walk in with a knife and chuck it at Cassie, and she'd chuck it back, and just go home, and you stayed, and you felt safe? Do you remember when you told the government, when Diddy walked up to you and said that he was a devil? You said that it was at a photo shoot first. No. You said it was at a photo shoot. But do you remember that you told the government that he walked up to you and told you that at a party? I don't remember.
Oof.
She kept saying she didn't remember. They said, you do know that when you sit with the government, there is a note taker there, right? January 2024, the demand letter was sent. January 31st.
I'm hot, y'all.
First allegation was after the demand letter. So when I wrote Tyrone her up because Tyrone because she was basically saying that this whole monster thing and Diddy threatened to kill her and all these different things, that all came after Tyrone put that in the demand letter. She never said that, but after Tyrone put that in the demand letter, then she started saying that Diddy said that to her. But because Tyrone said that he put it all together, Tyrone? I'm the devil and I'm gonna kill you. I could kill you, B, while hanging over the balcony. But that was two different instances. But Tyrone put that in the demand letter. But the problem is, she had several meetings with the prosecution before her lawsuit she filed in 2024. So she never brought that up until after they filed the lawsuit and the demand letter was sent. So she started regurgitating what Tyrone said. You met with the government before the demand letter and never mentioned I could kill you. Tyrone was at that meeting, right? Yes. What did you do to fix that? She said, I let him go. He had it all mixed up. Isn't it true that after the demand letter, you started saying he said he could kill you? So after Tyrone wrote that demand letter, then she started saying that he said that. Isn't it true that Diddy said that you were giving Cassie too much? Isn't it true that you would run out of money for drugs? At one point, you couldn't afford your own drugs. Isn't it true that sometimes Cassie would cover the cost of drugs? True. Isn't it true that Cassie would buy the drugs from you? True. Isn't it true that part of your income for you to pay your rent was Cassie buying drugs? Well, that was just part of my income. Well, I said that. Isn't it true that a part of your income was reliant upon Cassie buying drugs? Do you remember talking to the government? 5/25/25? Yes. Do you remember talking to the government June 2nd of 2025? Yeah, something along. Yeah. Do you remember talking to the government June 3rd, 2025? Yeah, something long ago. Do you remember talking to the government June 4th? Well, that's today. Yes. Because she kept saying she didn't remember. The first demand letter went out January 2024. The second demand letter went out February 21st, 2024, right? And then you filed a civil suit in November of 2024. And that was the allegation of the balcony where a civil suit was filed in November 2024. Okay? And you said you were sleeping and he was banging on the door. But in the first interview, you said you was at a party. Hanging out. So were you just said today you were looking over this, then you said you were sleeping. First you were looking at the view, then you sleeping, but then when you first said he hung you over the balcony, y'all were at a party hanging out. She said, well,
they hyping summertime.
I don't remember. She said, you do understand the government is taking notes, right? You didn't tell the government that you weren't asleep, you were at a party. You didn't tell the government that you didn't tell your girlfriend to hide in the bathroom when this happened. And you never said that Diddy was banging on the door when you were talking to the government, right? No. first time you mentioned Diddy was bashing on the door was in your civil suit. So you just took it and ran with it, huh? You just went with it. First you said you was on the balcony smoking weed. Then you said you was on the balcony smoking cigarettes. Then you said you was on the balcony pretending to smoke weed. You do know all three of those things are completely different, right? She said, true. She said, first you said you were looking inward, facing the balcony, and you saw Diddy charging at you. This is the news story of the balcony. So the news story is she was looking forward inside the house, and Diddy was coming at her like this. Now the news story is she was looking at the view, and he groped her and lifted her up. But the first time she said he was charging her across the rooms, so her stories just keep changing. And she said, isn't this the first time that you're now alleging that he essayed you? Everybody said, ooh. She said, well, I just said how it was. But isn't, she said, no, you said he grabbed your yitties and squeezed them so hard they had bruises? Didn't you say that? She said, did you feel like that was really, he was really touching you, or you feel like it was accidental? Didn't you tell the government that he uplifted you by your yitties? He squashed your yitties so bad they had bruises? So... sometimes you told the story, she saw you. Sometimes you told the story, she did not. I just don't remember. So that was today. Here's the thing. Here's my take on the situation.
That was a lot.
I still believe that this girl is right. I just think that Diddy's team has a really good team. The only thing that's going to be interesting is if they did make that up and they did lie, the defense is still going to have to prove to me, well, everybody, how did she get the bruises and the marks on the post? Like, because I feel like, okay, Nicole, you're doing a good job by making it seem like they concocted this whole thing. They were two junkies. Maybe she even liked Cassie. There was a lot going on. She needed money. They were both, full of crap and too high to remember what was going on. But how did she get the bruises? Where did the bruises come from? Because she's alleging the bruises came from being hung up in the balcony and thrown on the furniture. So if you can prove to me that those bruises came from somewhere else, then I'll believe you. But if she doesn't address those marks, those bruises, then I feel like she did good in trying to create doubt in the way that she angled her questions. But we're going to have to make it clear on where those bruises came from. So, that's what's going on here. So, we're back in the courtroom. We got a lot going on. So, again, updates. I got to run out of here. We're filming another show for TMZ today, guys. So, shout out to that. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be a little bit late in the courtroom, but I got people that's going to give me some notes because we're filming Nancy Grace in the morning. It's going to be on in the evening, and you can watch it 24 hours later on YouTube. But it's going to be on network at 6 p.m. that night, or maybe the next day. So that's that. And make sure you guys send me some cash apps and stuff to the More Oil Fund. Please, thank you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Please hit the subscribe button right now. And lastly, follow me on Instagram. We're almost at 100K. So I love you all. And yes, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being here, supporting the live, being in the comments, really getting into some things with us. We're doing this coverage, and remember, whatever you guys heard about that whole fight thing that happened at the courthouse, I was not into it with nobody. I have no drama. That lady came out of nowhere harassing me at the courthouse, child. So, yeah, I don't know what story is going out. I was not in the overflow room arguing with her. None of that. So, yes. End of the day, love y'all. Talk to you soon. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.
Go ahead, Armand. She said, I don't know. These kids be having me rolling sometimes. The way they be talking.
So DDG just filed a court order to stop Hallie from leaving the country with their son. Claims she's a risk to herself and the infant. Now, according to documents obtained by TMZ, DDG has filed an emergency motion to stop Halle Bailey from taking their infant son out of the country. He's claiming that she poses an emotional and psychological risk to the child. DDG filed docs Wednesday morning asking for an emergency hearing because he says Halle has made plans to fly with their son Halo to Italy on Saturday. He says the courts shouldn't allow this because Halle isn't mentally healthy enough to care for herself and their child, and he worries about what she might do if she leaves the court jurisdiction. DDG provides examples of alleged conduct he thinks is troubling, claiming that Halle once took his weapon and left the house without telling him where she was going. DDG alleges he ultimately found her outside just holding the weapon. He says she was pregnant when this incident went down. He also alleges Halle once tried to terminate the pregnancy behind his back, but she ultimately changed her mind and decided to go through with it. On another occasion, 2 months after Halo was born, DDG claims Halle sent him a series of alarming text messages threatening to off herself and suggesting that their infant son Halo might also be harmed. As you know, Bailey has accused DDG of abusive behavior in the past, including once when she alleged he slammed her face into a steering wheel and chipped her tooth. Well, DDG tells a different version of events, claiming he came to pick up Halo for his custodial time with his son. But Halle jumped into his back seat when he did, demanding they came up with a formal co-parenting schedule. DDG alleges she became increasingly agitated and started jumping from the back seat to hit him. And her momentum carried her forward, and she smacked her head on the steering wheel. In fact, DDG says he was actually on the receiving end of abuse by Halle, including photos of a large cut on his hand in the docs, which he says Bailey caused. DDG is asking the judge to block Halle from taking Halo to Italy. He also wants sole legal and physical custody of their son, or if he's not granted sole custody, he wants all custodial exchanges facilitated by a third party. So DDG is now going for sole custody. Now this is gonna get messy, which I knew it was because hey, they both have money for good lawyers, and this is gonna be a tough one. Now he filed this 3 days before Halle is supposed to leave for Italy. So could you imagine how she's feeling right now? I mean, she has to leave in 3 days for work. Now she has to deal with this. Not sure if that was intentionally done, but you guys leave your opinions on all this down in the comment section below. But let's move on to this next topic with Ed, Crystal, and Jazz. Now, I recently reported that Ed abruptly ended Crystal's Twitter Twitch live, and people went over to Jazz's stream asking her to go outside and help because Ed just put hands on Crystal. Well, now Ed is speaking out. Underneath my video, he left a comment and stated, snatched her phone because she kept dropping our location and told her we got ish to lose. Stop flagging. He says, I don't need domestic violence on my name. That ish ain't cool. So then he responded to a comment I left because I said there were multiple people streaming there. So if someone wanted to find you, then they could. He says she literally was saying we getting there at 8:30 and 5 minutes away type ish. Of course, people know where we're going, but dropping the times from our GPS is wild. So this was Crystal's response to the whole situation because she did speak out again on Twitch.
It's nothing to really clear up. Like, no shade. I was sitting down. I went to go sit at the end of the table because everybody had their cameras out. And honestly, I wasn't trying to be on camera next to my ex. Because y'all know how y'all be. So I moved all the way down to the end of the table. I just see somebody just coming over there to me. And I'm like, no. Get away from me. But it's like, I didn't mean to say it like that. But I said it like that. But basically what I was trying to say was, why? Like, we can't talk.
We can't talk. And that's not crazy or bad because, like, she is in a relationship and she is showing respect.
Yeah, I gotta, like, still at some point, it's like, I gotta go, like, okay.
And even though it's like, oh, well, he know y'all cool and he's not there, don't, like, it don't matter. Like,
It don't matter, so I still gotta have the same respect.
that's
Like,
what happened.
it was.
Now, Flo is also speaking out on the situation because they too got into an incident the same night where he allegedly snatched Karina out the car. Now, he's claiming he didn't snatch her out the car and he's showing that they're still together. So, what are we talking about right now?
Why you said they be hating on me? What I do? What I do? I ain't see the comments, y'all. What I do? I seen people saying, my VG. I seen.
Marshall's buyers are always hustling to get the best of the best for you on Marshalls.com.
Trend detective. So chic.
We get the deals, you get the good stuff online.
That's great.
People saying something, but I made a video on YouTube. Y'all can go watch it, go check it out. Cause you know the internet, they try to make it seem like me and Karina be going through World War III and everything be cool and I'm just this and that, but I don't even care no more, man. I really be chilling. If we was all that, why would I be with her right now?
So as you guys know, King did announce that he was attending Kaiser's graduation and he did make it there. Nick posted videos on her Snap, which I'm not going to post here because other people's kids are in the background. But as you can see, King is there. Now, Lena was on live and she was kind of emotional, stating that she was having a bit of separation anxiety and just dealing with a lot of emotions from the earthquake that occurred. Now, she stayed in Thailand with their two kids while King traveled back to America to get Kaiser to bring him back. Well, now Daisha from the Taylor Girls is speaking out on the situation and how she feels about Lena going on to TikTok crying.
Anyways, like, I don't even get on this app and be looking like this, but I'm so tired of seeing Lena ass on my timeline, like, for real. Like, for real, for real. Hey, we tired. We sick and tired. We're sick and tired. Like, girl, you can be without that man for a few days. Like, you know what I'm saying? You make the stepmamas look bad. Like, you just make us look so goddamn bad because it's never been that deep. This man is going to support his son at his graduation. Pat that man on the back. Make his ass go. Make his ass support his son. Like, it should have never been. Even if you was crying, why did you tell us? Why? We don't need to know that because you already know we're going to eat you up and swallow you whole. Like, you could have left that part out. You could have just been like, oh, my man went to support his son. And that was it. Like, why? Like, why? Like, I just don't understand. Like, you know what I'm saying? The man is already done moved. Y'all done moved across the country. So he's not going to be that close to his daddy. He's not going to be that close to his siblings. He's not going to be that close to y'all. So the least he can do, he's doing what a daddy and a father should do. Take your ass to support your child. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he's not going to make everything because he's across the country. But at least he got jumped off his ass and made it to the graduation. Like, good job, King. About time. We've been waiting. But Lena, like, baby, you gotta do better. You gotta do a little bit better, baby. You gotta make us do, because you're making us look bad. And all of us ain't like you. All of us is not like you. We not. So everybody think all the stepmamas don't be treating they stepkids right. And not I'm here to tell you, I'm an activist stepmama. Don't play with me. And I just had to come on here real quick because I was just like, oh my God, like, girl, it never gave that. And she very well might have separation anxiety. You may very well been terrified after the the little hurricane? No, the little earthquake. But that man need to see his son. His son ain't seen him we don't know how long. Like, and even when y'all was there, I don't think he was really that active either. So the fact that he flew all the way across the country to go back to support his son at the graduation, all we can do is clap for King right now. Lena, get that shit together, baby. Hold them two little girls down for them 2, 3, 4 little days. How many days he gonna hold them babies down? You know what I'm saying? Let that man do his part. Cry with him on the phone after he go see his son at that walk across that graduation. Okay, and please just shut that shit up, please, because we tired of hearing it.
And Lena actually came back with a response.
That's I'm live for real.
How you tired, but you waiting for a follow back? How you tired, but you've been trying to be my friend since 2022. I never accepted your message. You even went as far as texting my daughter's Instagram page. I'm not trying to be your friend. Let's not forget, you're even waiting for a follow back on TikTok. So if you was really tired of me and you was tired of seeing all these people narrate all these lies about me, then you would just unfollow me. Or you wouldn't pick up your phone as soon as you wake up to make a whole video about me. If you was so tired of hearing about me and seeing me. Now, I guess I gotta make this clear, okay? I am not mad that my man is in America, getting his son, supporting his son. I'm very happy for him. I love that for them. I wish you guys would understand that. But it's not meant for y'all to understand it. You guys probably will never understand it, and I will always be the villain in the story. But when I got on live, which I shouldn't have, because Lena, why are you getting on live? These people don't give a fuck about you or your emotions. They don't care that you miss your man. They don't care that you had a panic attack. Like, Lena, what are you thinking? What was I thinking? You're right. I shouldn't have got on live. You guys are absolutely right. I am not getting on live no more, and I'm not going to act like I am a human being with emotions that misses her man. Like, God forbid a bitch miss her man on a 14-hour flight to America. God forbid. I'm sorry. I didn't know. You guys are so strict. You guys are really strict on this app. I don't know what I can say, what I can do, how I can feel. I'm a little confused here. Oh, I just want to say this too. She said that I was making the stepmoms look bad. Stop comparing me. That is the problem. We compare, there's comparison. You're comparing me to you. You're comparing yourself to me. There is no comparison. Stop comparing. Worry about your life. I worry about my life. I apologize for getting on live. I shouldn't have got on live and acted like I was a woman that was getting on her period and missed her man. God forbid. I am sorry. But let's not act like you're so tired of hearing about me, but you're following me on every platform, and the first thing that you do in the morning is pick up your phone to make a whole video about me to make your coins. Now, you know, everybody likes to clomp their team, yeah. Okay, I'm really done. I'm sorry. I just couldn't let that slide because of what? Like, I'm not mad that my man went to America. I'm very happy for him. I'm actually preparing the house, getting everything ready for him. I was just, you know, a bitch was getting on her period. I had no idea. I'm sorry.
Get out of here.
That's crazy.
I don't mind starting a war with her. You feel me? I really don't mind. We already at war, so we might as well just go ahead and make the best man win. Because I ain't scared of y'all. Point blank period. I'm not scared of y'all no more. I'm not scared of y'all no more. I'm a grown woman now. I don't play with you.
y'all. What's
A
up?
little bit to
The
eat.
birds are chirping. It's cool outside. It feels really good out here, y'all. This sun is like really heating. What's up, y'all? Welcome to our YouTube channel. It's me, Little Bit, and I'm here with a video. So, it's wild like you came in more than every and then more mine. Cause her bushes and stuff trimmed, and mine's not. I got weeds. I'm gonna have to call a lawnmower man. Anyways, y'all. Like the joke is already on me, but I'm just but y'all, yeah, I'm gonna do a prank on Lucy, y'all. Team, a little bit. I'm really doing this for us, cause y'all. I know we've been going through shit. You know, shit ain't been what it was, but you know that still can't stop us from getting our shit together and doing our fucking thing. We can't be just going out like, we already like, but we ain't finna, yeah, man. What's up, man? I miss y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for everything. Thank y'all for swinging for me in the comments. I fucking love Team Red. I love Team Us Outsiders. Team Red, due to me beefing with y'all right now, I ain't really fuck with y'all. So, anyways, I'm finna do a prank on her. And I'm finna be like, bitch, I'm single. Because technically, I kind of am single because she ain't asked me back out yet. So, yeah, I'm kind of is single. But I ain't gonna hold that against her because we have been doing a lot of stuff. We've been busy. She ain't had time to ask me back out, y'all. But I don't care. I'm not sparing nothing. I don't care. Right now, I feel like pranking. And we can start a war if she won't. You feel me? I don't mind starting a war with her. You feel me? I really don't mind. We already at war, so we might as well just go ahead and make the best man win. Because I ain't scared of y'all. Point blank period. I'm not scared of y'all no more. I'm a grown woman now. I don't play with you. Sound good. Okay, well, y'all, for real. I'm finna prank. Let's say I'm single. I'm finna be on the phone. Basically, playing in the truck, cause bitch, I'm single, bitch. Yes. Finna be in Miami on a boat. Yeah. Finna go to Aruba and then Dubai. Period. Cause I'm single. And there's other single people out there that want me single. Cause I'm single. But y'all, I hope this don't postpone Lisa asking me back out. If it do, shit gonna get worse. Just let you know. So be careful how y'all come back. Cause I really don't think y'all want this pressure though, for real. Just saying. Y'all already. Just saying. Cortez, come on, let's go.
I can tell you how much you spent on takeout, and it's a lot.
You can track my spending by category. 1, weird. 2, how.
1, no it's not, and 2, Rocket Money.
Go on.
It's a finance app that shows you all your accounts, bills, and subscriptions in one place, and it analyzes your spending habits to create
Almost
custom budget that works
finished.
I can do that too. I'll just look at my bank account,
My
my credit
cord
cards,
is
that
so
spreadsheet I've been working on.
for you. Yes, but Rocket Money does
so
it for you. Find a
hot.
subscription
I'm
no
gonna
longer
take
want?
these jeans
Rocket Money can
off.
cancel it in just a few taps.
You have my attention. How do I get in on this?
Download it today.
Burning up. Ooh.
I made it for my mom. It was actually in honor of my grandmother who passed away last year. I was able to trace one of her recipes and heat transfer vinyl it onto this tea towel. It's in her actual handwriting.
You coming down here? You want me to bring it?
see, this is either you or Gabe. That was mine. I made a mistake after that. My bad, but hold on. That was mine. Because Gabe kicked it over. And I forgot. Alright, what you saying? Because I'm just being your way, ain't you? When? Wait, you said the weekend of the... Hold on, wait, this is 27th. So, the 27th through the... When you coming back? That Monday. Hell yeah, I wanna go. Who else going?
Do y'all see that? Do y'all see how my wig just fell off of this mannequin? On the last piece, please.
Yes.
Because I'm burning up. Please. Oh, that's another reason why. I'm kind of glad it did.
So what are you doing
Because I
about
forgot.
Yeah, we get back together. We still in the, I guess, in the fixing it stage. Huh? Why would you tell her that? Tell her what? That you're single. And we're not getting back together. Why would you just... I didn't say we ain't getting back together. I said we haven't gotten back together. Yeah, so how does that make you single? Because we haven't gotten back together because of, like, what the fuck are you saying? Where you at? Listen, how we together? Like, you choose not to wear your ring. That don't have nothing to do with it. No, I didn't choose not to wear my ring. You have to take it off. Like, you broke up with me. So. I never broke up with you. You did break up with me. Yes, you did. Like, bro, I did not fucking break up with you. All right. I just said we need a time apart. That is not fucking breaking up. Right. That is a separation. Girl, she said that talking about some I'm not single because I was the one who chose to take my ring off. Like, you broke up with me and you have yet to even say anything about us getting back together. Like, I never broke up with you. We never even established that we were back together. That conversation, last thing we talked about when we came our relationship was adding a guy to our relationship. We ain't talking about getting back together no nothing. So I don't understand why you even acting like you're confused. I never knew I had to get back. Are you upset because I said something wet on the phone about it? It's not even the fact of being upset. You sitting here telling her that you sing. I don't give a fuck where y'all going at. You can go wherever you want to go at. My whole thing is you sitting here talking about you fucking single. And I'm like, I am single. Like, if you single, why the fuck are you here then? You need to just be gone. You need to be gone. Because I said I'm single. I ain't saying once again. Once again, you're kicking me out. Once again, you're kicking me out. I'm not kicking you out. You see how you be so quick? You be so quick to say, hey, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that with you, bro. I'm not doing that with you on some real shit. I'm not doing that with you, dog. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. What are you doing with me? You sit there and say that you fucking single. You already know a bit. We established how we moving with shit.
All right, y'all. All right, y'all. My stuff work. I'm over it. So this is my wig. I just curled it up, put a part in the middle. Don't mind my mannequin. Don't talk about her, okay? But I did that. And then this is what I did to the inside. I sewed my this band on there so it could fit my head better. But this is my wig. I don't know, baby. I don't know if I'm gonna put it on tomorrow. I'm gonna put it on tomorrow because I don't burn it up right now. At least it be nice and curled and ready to go. I cleaned the lace off and everything. So the only thing I probably have to do is just I'm gonna put it on and I don't think I want my baby hairs out. So I'm gonna have to flat iron the baby hairs or probably cut them. I don't know. Do something to them. Get them out of her. But I don't think I want the baby hairs out right now. But yeah, y'all. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm burning up. Ooh, This little fan been a lifesaver. I said it's not my birthday no more. So I'm gonna make this fan be my makeup fan. Because I ain't even charging my other fan right here. My little fan right here, but I ain't even charge it, so it is what it is. I'm hot. Now I'm about to take these clothes off and get in the shower, y'all. I think I'm gonna spray my wig. Look at all the little frizzies that's around. I don't care. It'll be alright. You shouldn't be able to see it tomorrow, but I think I'm gonna spray it with some spritz. I got this spritz right here. I love the way spritz smell. So I sprayed that with some spritz, so we'll see how it do tomorrow. And I'm gonna take this out my hair, put a stocking cap on. And yeah, put my wig back on. I am gonna dye it, so I hope y'all stay tuned for that. But I just want to see how the curls look and how it look without no edges and all that out before I just decide to dye it. I don't know if I want to keep it black a little longer. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what it be with you and me. I'm about to go to the store. I'm about to cuss. So let me just hurry up and get off because I'm hot. So alright, y'all, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all enjoyed your time with me. I love y'all, and I'll see you on the next one.